Hey yo, what is groovy? What is good? It's your boy Papa Capes and we are back with yet another Raid Shadow Legends video. Thank you so much to Raid for sponsoring this video and for hooking us up with our own download link that you guys can find in the description down below. Using that link directly supports me and directly supports the channel. If you choose to start with that link, you'll be greeted by Tholan Foulbeard right off the bat, and as you progress just a little bit, you'll meet the likes of Ugo, Tagore, and Mausoleum Mage. And right now you can use code SUPERVICTORY to get Pelops the Victor, or code WRATH to get Padraig. And to secure yet another legendary, to get a triple legendary start with 3 absolutely amazing epic champions, right now during the Echoes of Oz event, you simply have to log in for 7 days and you'll get Dorothy Gale. An absolutely amazing champion. Right now is truly a phenomenal time to start your journey in Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get into the video. Today, I want to chat a little bit about Fire Knight. Our next Marius mission is to complete Fire Knight hard mode 20 times stage 7. So this is the Fire Knight hard team setup right there. Padraig, Yakarl, Mithrala, Creodan, and Fatman. Creodan and Fatman, and as we look into the team setup, there's not really anything regarding their skills and the rotation of those skills that I've done at all. So this is the team that I'll be using. So the first thing that I want to check is just the gear that they've got on and their stats. So if we go and start out with Padraig. Padraig is currently in stone skin and protection gear, and he's got just under 70k HP, just under 4k defense, 213 speed. So he's quite slow. And then he's got 241 resistance and 85 accuracy. Yakarl's got savage, feral, swift parry, merciless, and stone skin. And his stats over here: 46k HP, 4.5k attack, just under 2k defense, 183 speed. So also very, very slow. 87 crit rate, 150 crit damage, 124 resistance, and 266 accuracy. So what I'm going to do for this fight is I'm actually going to put on Gallic set onto Yakarl, Supreme Gallic, because of the accuracy as well. So we're only losing about 18 accuracy, more HP, more attack, more speed, and his crit is actually critting. So let's put that on for now. And then after Yakarl, I know for a fact Mithrala's there. Her kit's fine. Her kit is fine, 267 speed, 80k HP, 4k defense, and 487 accuracy. The next one we've got in here is Creodan the Blue. Creodan's current kit, he's sitting at 54,954 HP, 2,890 attack, under 2k defense, 215 speed, so also quite slow. And he's a support champion. So what I'm going to do is change his set as well to try and find a support champion that's got nice and high accuracy so that he doesn't lose out on that either. Arbiter, we're only losing a little bit of accuracy, but that speed is going to come through crucial. Let's put that on and see how that goes. And then Fatman right there, his build is fine. He's fast enough, 242. And I'm not going to change anything on Fatman for now. But that's the team right there. And let's see how this goes. So this is the start of stage 6 in Fire Knight hard. And I'm just going to leave it on auto just to see kind of how it goes and what happens. And we've taken out the last bit of mob over there, and we are now onto the Fire Knight himself. So let's see how this goes. I cannot remember because I've given up. I won't lie to you guys, I've given up on Fire Knight because I simply couldn't complete it. But now I've made changes to Creodan's gear, put him in Arbiter's gear, made changes to Yakarl, but there's not a single reviver on this team, and Yakarl already looks like he is close to death. We can't even get the shield to drop as yet. So there's the ally attack coming through from Padraig. Fatman's also got an ally attack, so it's crucial. There's the second ally attack coming through now, and the shield is down. So now can we land enough freezes to control the turn meter on Fire Knight? Mithrala's shields are coming through. Yakarl is back up to a safer place than he was in terms of HP, but now we need those freezes to land. Fire Knight's turn meter is climbing. There we go, Creodan coming through, taking a little bit of that turn meter away. But this is where I'm confused, and I don't know exactly what I'm missing just to get that turn meter to stay down. I don't feel like we did enough damage with that shield down, and Fire Knight's probably going to heal that damage anyway. So let's see, 13 turns on the shield to drop. There's the ally attack coming through from Padraig. And does Fatman have his ally attack off of cooldown? He does. There it comes through now as well. And the champs are looking in a better place regarding their HP. But now we need those freezes to come through to manipulate that turn meter on the Fire Knight. Let's see how this goes. I will pop back in as soon as we either get close to dying or getting close to finishing it. And as we can see there, he literally just healed himself, a very little, but Fire Knight healed himself just a tad there, which I called out earlier on. So we need to do more damage. And one thing we need to be sure of is that these ally attacks come through when the shield is up. So right now, Fat Man's ally attack should be off cooldown. There we go. And we get the shield down once more. Maybe I need him a bit faster. Maybe I need Padraig a bit faster. This is why I'm uploading this video, so that I can actually come to you guys in the comments for help as to how to not only finish stage 6, but also be able to do stage 7 on auto consistently, so that I can continue to progress in the Marius missions. That's what this is about. It is super important. So yeah, I'll meet you guys in the comments right after this video goes live, and I'll pop back in as soon as, once again, either we get close to death and fail, or we get close to killing him, so that we can see exactly what we did right, what changes we could potentially make to do it slightly faster. And yeah, I'll check in a bit. Got him down to about 25 to 30% HP, the Fire Knight itself. Yakarl is looking a lot better. He's currently the only champion that got close to dying, but then the continuous heal from Padre comes through, and Yakarl as well does some healing on himself as well. I'm not sure if that's his relic, but it's a talent, so I don't think it's the relic. But there's the continuous heal, and then Creodan has increased speed as well. So we've used that while his shield was down. And there the shield goes up, and the burns are doing some nice damage with the poisons. And we took out quite a chunk of his HP, but then obviously he healed himself. So let's see if we can get down at least one of the ally attacks now, whilst his turn meter is still below 50%. And this is where I really want you guys to comment, like, do I have the entire strat just wrong in my head? Am I missing an outright nuker? Do I need more damage dealers? I definitely do need better damage dealers for the waves to get to the boss quicker. But right now, it looks like we could potentially finish this. But I don't have the knowledge to know whether this was just lucky in terms of RNG, or if we actually have good enough gear on them now that I changed Yakarl's gear and Creodan's gear to some of my top gear sets on the account. So this should be finished right here with this last ally attack coming through from Fat Man. So that's pretty cool. That's stage 6 done. And we're going to do exactly the same thing now in stage 7. Again, that previous battle took us 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So yes, granted, it takes us a long time to get through the waves. Do I primarily focus on getting through the waves faster, or is my focus on understanding that the waves aren't really the most important part, and if you can finish them, you're fine? So in here, we know that we're going to struggle with the waves again. When I say struggle, I don't mean struggle to kill them. I mean it's going to take long, because a lot of the freezes come through, but I don't have an outright nuker. We've got 2 ally attackers, we've got some continuous heal, no revivers, Mithrala's shield comes through clutch, and I do feel that if this Fire Knight hits slightly harder than stage 6, we're going to lose Yakarl, and then we do not have a reviver on this team. So let's see how it goes. Again, I'll only pop in every now and then as something exciting happens, whether we lose a champion, whether we get to the boss, whether we come close to death. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. And we are about to take out the last mob in the second wave in Fire Knight Heart stage 7. And it took us just over 4.5 minutes, but we are finally at the Fire Knight. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Again, this is the first time I'm trying Fire Knight stage 7. Again, I'm still anxious to the fact that we don't have a reviver in this team. So if we lose Yakarl, or if we lose Creodan, there's no way of bringing them back into the fight. And as I mentioned, that Yakarl is dead. So I'm gonna let this run just out of pure curiosity and see, because we've still got both ally attackers. Yes, okay, one of our freezers are gone in Yakarl, but maybe there's a world that we still complete this. Maybe I'm being silly and actually letting it run, but I want to see how far we do get and how close we get, because maybe the play is to take out Mithrala for Glacad. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to put in Glacad here purely just for those revives. So that is literally it, purely for those revives. Glacad is built quite decently, 216 speed. Okay, he's actually quite slow, but he comes through with that boss set. He's got a lot of HP, decent amount of defense, and he's got some accuracy as well. And just to double check, on his A1, he's got a freeze. He's then got the perfect veil as well with an increased attack. And then he's also got an increased accuracy with an increased defense for 3 turns. So let's see how that goes. It's kind of interesting. I just thought about it now as well. The champions in the waves are literally always frozen. So first of all, my champions never get hit as we're going through the waves, which is not really anything to brag about or super cool. It's just like a weird thing. They never, ever get a chance to attack because they're always frozen. But at the same time, just like petrification, don't champions take less damage when they're frozen or under petrification? Because maybe that's also what's leading to the amount of time it takes us to get through these champions. I could be wrong. This is just a thought that popped into my head as I'm watching this. But yeah, I'll check in a bit. Okay, and just over 6 minutes, we are finally at the Fire Knight himself, and immediately Fatman gets involved with his ally attack. And yeah, let's see how this goes differently. If we lose Yakarl, if we lose Creodan, we now do have Glacad that can come through with that revive. And immediately, as I mentioned that, we lost Yakarl, but Glacad was able to bring him back. So off the bat, that revive was a great idea. However, do we now have enough damage still to get through the Fire Knight? Is that a once-off thing that Yakarl's going to die, or does he continue to just die and be a liability to this team? That's what we'll have to wait and see. So I'll pop in a little bit. Okay, currently we are doing some damage to his turn meter right there whilst his shield is down. We are getting some turn meter manipulation or turn meter control with these freezes, but is it enough? I don't think the amount of turn meter we're managing to take down in conjunction with the damage we're doing is enough to actually get through this boss. I think as soon as that shield comes up and it does his heals, his small heal, however, it's still going to either just make this like an hour-long fight, or we're just not going to be able to actually do it. However, his shield is still down, and we're still slowly depleting his turn meter, so let's see what goes. Right now, his shield is still down, and we kind of have a grasp on his turn meter, which is kind of cool. So it's nice to watch. It's nice to see that this team is actually able to do that. Just controlling the turn meter, decreasing cooldowns every now and then, and slowly depleting and taking little bites out of his HP. So maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do this. And the biggest issue was simply just a gear issue, where my champs just weren't fast enough. They weren't in good enough gear. And obviously not having a reviver. But now taking Mithrala out, putting Glacad in, has been able to bring Yakarl to life twice. I know that you guys only saw Yakarl die once, but he died twice. But let's see how it goes. We are looking kind of solid right here. His shield has only gone up once. It hasn't gone up again after that. 9 minutes into the fight, and I'll check in when it gets exciting. Okay, this is the first time we're kind of getting close to a place where his shield might drop back down. His turn meter has just reached full. And right there, Yakarl's coming through, no turn meter depletion. Padrake's coming through, Creodan's coming through, and there we go. The shield's up for the second time in this fight. So let's see how that goes. Wasn't able to heal too much, but we do have the ally attack coming through there. And now it's just about consistency, right? Here's Padrake's ally attack coming through. That shield should be down once again. And now we should start to control that turn meter yet again. Depending on the cooldown rotations, Yakarl comes through, brings it down to half. Creodan comes through, brings it down just below half as well. Glacad comes through with that freeze, brings it down to half as well. So actually bringing Glacad in made a lot of sense. So I understand that I usually lean onto Mithrala to increase survivability with those shields. But right now, I think the revive is more important than the shield, and also the freeze on the A1, and then also a 2-star brimstone, which hasn't actually done anything to the Fire Knight in this run, but it's all good. The shield should come back up now again, and let's see how much heals he does when the shield comes back. He takes a lot of damage, and he does 426k healing to himself, but he also does take damage because of some of the poisons, some of the burns that are getting onto him from Fatman right there. So one more attack and the shield should be down again, and we are at what, 20% HP, 15% HP? So there we go. We've landed the burns, decreased speed, HP burn is on, decreased defense is on, and the brimstone, which again I haven't seen work at all. But now we start controlling that turn meter yet again with Creodan, with Yakarl, with Glacad, and this should be it. This should be the first time that we finish stage 7 Fire Knight on hard, so which is kind of cool. This just shows that I can do it. It's been done in auto. There's nothing that I had to change. I don't see anything that could potentially have been RNG involved in this, but maybe a couple more. Actually, this ally attack should finish it up right there. And it does. Creodan getting the last hit. It's taken us just under 12 minutes and just under 400 turns, but we were able to do it. Padre coming through with 2 million heals. Yakarl with almost 3 million damage. Glacad at 900k damage and 900k healing. Creodan with under 900k attack. But again, he's there for that turn meter manipulation because of the freezes, and Fatman with the most damage at 3.265 million damage. So that is the team right there. Obviously, I was purely just struggling because I didn't change Creodan's gear and Yakarl's gear to the best gear on my account. And the bolster from Glacad didn't really make a difference because as soon as you get to the boss, there's not another round after that, so the bolster can't come back after those 3 turns. But this is what I'm dealing with so far. So the questions that I have, I guess, as you take a look at my roster right here, is there somebody that can contribute to Fire Knight to just make it faster. Obviously, you guys know my damage dealers already, but in terms or outside of damage dealers, Tormund's a freezer as well. Could he potentially help? Yukimasa was a recent pull. Could he potentially help? These are the questions that I have, so I'd truly be so grateful if you guys can meet me in the comments and just provide me with some advice. Do I look at using Geomancer? I don't know why I would, but his single target damage is really good on bosses. Do I look at bringing in Cold Heart? Are there any other champions that I'm simply overlooking who truly excel within Fire Knight? Please let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, there's the Master Vault. Whisper is there as well. Could she potentially help? Maybe April could help. I do have another Padraig. I do have another Ferric in the Fat. So maybe running more ally attackers. I don't think that's the issue. But again, I'm on this journey and still learning. So yeah, I'll meet you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And please provide me with that advice. I'm open to learning. And maybe there's just something small that I'm overlooking that could really make an impact to this. Maybe instead of, I don't know who, but maybe I bring Gallic in just to increase the damage. Maybe I bring Embries in. Maybe Crixia to reset those ally attacks as often as possible. These are all options that I can think of off the top of my head, but you guys are the experts. I know that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you so much to Raid for sponsoring this video and for hooking us up with our own download link that you guys can find in the description down below. Using that link directly supports me and directly supports the channel. Happiness is a choice. Kindness is free. Leave your mark, yo. Peace out.